Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. My name is Nicole and I am the brains and the beauty behind Yarn Craft by Nicole. You can find me on Insta, you can find me on Facebook, obviously here on YouTube, as well as on Ravelry and on Etsy. I am a pattern tester, pattern designer, yarn aficionado, and I love to use these platforms as a way to share my love of creation with other people in the community. So welcome, glad you're here. Wanted to start today to show off this lovely little number as my featured make. This is the Shiloh cardigan from Emily Davies, and if you have been with me on this podcast for a little while, you probably have recognized this. You've seen it in several stages throughout the process of making it, and now you get to see it on. It is absolutely like the easiest thing to wear over everything. I am super excited that it is finally warm enough today to wear it. Granted, I still had a coat on over it when I was going to and from school, but it's wonderful. So it's a short sleeve cardigan, and the pattern for this released this week. It released on Tuesday, and so you can find it on Ravelry. It's called the Shiloh cardigan. I'll put it in the description below from Emily Davies. You can find her on Instagram as Hooked Hazel, and she is absolutely fantastic. She's wonderful to test for. She writes very easy to understand patterns, and they're just so much fun. You can also check out that hashtag of Shiloh cardigan to see what the other testers came up with, because there are some really, really pretty combinations. I used Hawthorne fingering Kettle dye for mine, and I love it because it gives enough variation in the cardigan so you can see all the hard work that I did with the stitches. And yet it's simple enough that I can throw it on most things. So I absolutely love it. I would say it is pretty beginner friendly. She does a good job of explaining everything that you need to know. The construction is very simple. It's got ribbing at the top and at the bottom, and it's a great pattern. You should check it out. She also has another one called the Shiloh, I think it's called just the Shiloh Tee, that uses the same stitch pattern, but it's a top-down sweater that's short sleeve, and it is super cute too, so you should go check her out. She is delightful. The next segment, which is usually one of my favorite segments, is whips and finished objects. And you have seen this project as well in several steps, several iterations. But guys, my Troublemaker tee is finally done, and it's so cute. I have not worn this out yet. Again, it has not been warm enough here in Michigan to wear it yet, but I am super pumped about this. You can notice at the bottom it gets a little bit lighter, which I love. Both of these variegated yarns are the same colorway, but they're different dye lots, so you can tell how much brighter it is at the bottom. I did stripe a little bit of the darker one in, so it looks a little bit more intentional, but I absolutely love it. And at the top, if I get this a little bit closer, for these darker stripes that go through to about here, it has a little bit of shimmer that catches the light, and it's so pretty. This is called the Treblemaker Pullover. It is not released yet. It is still being tested, but it is a lot of fun. I will tell you that when you see pictures of me in my Troublemaker pullover, mine is a little tighter than most of the other pullovers, as well as the recommended ease that Janine Mudge put into the pattern. The reason why I made mine a little bit more snug is because between my shoulders and my bust, there's a pretty big difference. So to have it fit appropriately on the shoulders and not feel like too voluminous or adding an extra bulk here, I kept it pretty tight so that when it actually got to the middle part, it clings more than the recommended ease. However, this is a customizable pattern, so depending on what your preference is, as well as the yarn that you use, you can change the fit the way that you want it to be. A lot of people used cotton or bamboo yarn, and the drapier fit, the looser fit, works really well with that yarn. And I believe that Janine used a yarn like that in her example as well, and it drapes beautifully. I had sport weight merino on hand, so that is what I used. And usually a merino wool is going to be a little bit clingier, and that complemented with like having it a little bit more snug around the shoulders is why mine will fit more snug. But again, that's the beauty about making your own clothes, is that you get to decide what you want to get out of it, and you get to decide the fit that makes the most sense for you. But I absolutely love it. I am pumped to wear it. It just feels like an art piece. That's just the way I describe it. It just looks like a piece of art, and it's so pretty. And I have finished blocking it, and it's now really soft. I'm pumped. I'm ready for warmer weather to come so that I can wear this beautiful thing. And that is the the Treblemaker Pullover. It is not out yet. It's still being tested by Janine Mudge, but she's great. The pattern is very simple to follow, and it's wonderful. So, Troublemaker. The next I'm going to show you is another pattern test, because apparently I have an addiction to pattern testing, and that is the Cypress Tee that I am pattern testing for Haley Herman. I have pattern tested for her before. Her patterns are written in the recipe style, so very made to measure. It also gives you a lot of flexibility with the weight yarn that you want to use, the fit that you want to have. I love her patterns. The green cardigan that I've worn on here before that has the bead stitch at the bottom, that's one of her patterns. It's called the Pebbled Path Cardigan, and she's got several that I absolutely love. So when I saw she had a pattern to test, I was like, okay, I'll test that one too. And guys, it looks like summer. Ah, can you even? Can you even? So this is a beautiful pattern, stitch pattern, that uses the cluster stitch as well as some treble crochets, some double crochets, and it's working out pretty fast. I would have gotten more headway on it if I had a little bit more downtime, because the stitching itself goes pretty quickly. And I'm about to start splitting for the front and the back. I think I'm going to do one more row of like this coral color, like one more section of that, and then I'll split for the top and the bottom, and or the top and the back, and I'm super pumped about it. I am using for this pattern some yarn from Aquarius Make. Y'all got to see this when it was still in the hank. This is her colorway called Pure, and I believe that that one has retired from last year, but she did just come out with some beautiful spring colors, and her colorway Thistle is absolutely stunning, and I'm going to need to buy some of it as soon as I figure out what it needs to be. But this is from Aquarius Make. She's awesome. This is, I bought a couple of skeins from her. She's on Etsy, and I have been very thrilled with the results. So I knew I wanted to use this because, I mean, hello, it's gorgeous. So I went to my local yarn store to find something that coordinated with it. And I originally thought I was going to go for either something that was this darker shade of blue or maybe white. And then I saw this happy color. This is a Wonderland yarn, and I believe that the colorway is called Little Crab, which is adorable. And it fits perfectly. Like, they look like they were designed to go together, because there's little bits of coral in the pure skein, and it's stunning. So since this one is a skein that I can't get more of, I decided that I was going to stripe in a little bit more of the coral earlier, and then there'll be some more of this blue at the top, and then there'll be more of the coral at the top and at the sleeves. I haven't decided how long I want to make the sleeves for this yet, because obviously it is a very summery top, and the original pattern has pretty short sleeves, maybe a little bit shorter than this cardigan, but I also think it would look really pretty in like a bracelet sleeve, or maybe up to my elbow. I haven't decided yet, but I am super pumped with the way that this is coming out, and I have already planned outfits around it and how I want to show this off. because honestly, that is my favorite part about making garments. When I was working on my Treblemaker Pullover, I was like, yes, this looks like a piece of art. I want to wear black tight jeans with some heels and some lipstick and go take some really fancy, really glam pictures. And then for this one, I'm thinking, oh, I need some wide leg linen pants and maybe a big floppy hat, something that just screams beach. So I'm very pumped about this. And again, this is the Cypress Tee. It is currently being tested with powder testers like myself, and it is wonderful, and I'm super pumped about it. These are really my only two whips that I can show you. I do have another one that I'm working on, but it's a secret, and it's a present for a friend of ours, so I can't show that to you yet. But I can show you something I forgot to show you after we went to the Fire Festival, and that was this cute little bag. Look at it. This is a project bag, and I will say that this is the perfect size bag to throw into my purse to go with me to work and do some crocheting, do some stitching on my lunch break. So I absolutely love it. This is from K2 Together, Knit 2 Together. You can find her on Etsy if you just Google K2, the number 2, TOG, and project bags. You'll be able to find her pretty easily. I believe that her name is Sue Treiber. I will put that in the description as well. But she had a ton of super adorable project bags, as well as she called them sweater bags, so a bigger size tote and the cutest prints, and she does great work. So if you're in the market for some project bags, check her out because they are very sweet. And some of them are a little sassy with some of the language that's on them. So depending on what your jam, you can go sweet or you can go sassy. So I want to show that to you because I didn't get to last time. Okay, for yarn though this week, because I have only bought yarn recently for specific projects, like the yarn that I bought for this beautiful thing. I haven't stocked up on a lot because I haven't needed to, and because I just went to the Fire Festival and bought a lot of yarn there. So for my yarn love this week, I want to show you my little scrap bowl. We did some organizing last weekend and got to get all of my scraps together. It looks super cute having them all arranged like this, and it reminds me of things that I need to do with them. I will probably do a video theoretically in the near future that talks about how to decide what to do with your scraps and how to play with them together and what are some easy projects for scraps. And so that will hopefully be coming soon, but that is my yarn love for this week. Got the happiest green that I used in a baby blanket. I've got this skein, or like this leftover skein from yarn that I bought on my anniversary trip for our first anniversary. I've got some yellow leftover from the lightsaber scarf. Like, it's just fun to see them all together in here and start to think about ways of playing with them, ways of coordinating them to create happy little scrappy projects. And I know that y'all love scrappy projects here on this channel. So that is my yarn love for this week. It's just this happy bowl of delight. And having said all of that, I'm going to close with what I can't let go of. And guys, that Saturday is local yarn store day. So if you live in a place that has a local yarn store, be sure to hit them up this Saturday. A lot of local yarn stores have fun giveaways or activities going on, and it's just a way of giving back to small businesses and celebrating other people in the yarn community. So I have plans to go to my local yarn store here in Michigan, which is Spun. And I'm sure that I will be full of stories to talk about next week after being there. But have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you here next time. Bye, guys.